Welcome, everyone. It's Michelle Ricci, Amy Krynicki, and we have a special guest today, Miss Kimberly Sanders. It is the 22nd of June, and this is the We on Fire team call. So super excited today. Rita and Mary Beth are on their crown call, and we get to do something a little different. So before we get started, I want to start by giving everybody on the call an opportunity to shout themselves out or their partners out, and just let's do a few minutes here of celebration. And I'll go ahead and start. I want to welcome Rhiannon to the call. Rhiannon is going to be joining us here soon, maybe even after this call today. She has a few signups. She is an MTHFR coach, so we met through mold illness. MTHFR is a genetic coding that I happen to have as well, and actually 1 in 4 people on the planet have, which makes them hypersensitive to different volatile organic compounds like molds and things like that. So Rhiannon, I'll let you say hello too, and then yeah, so just really excited to be working with her. And then I want to shout out Amy, who is on the call today as well. Amy and I have been working hard behind the scenes to streamline systems, which I'm really excited to actually be talking to Kimberly about today. But I also want to shout you out for actually passing a parasite that looked like it was 7 inches long. And I've not experienced that yet. So Amy's just been, I'm like, I really want to lift you up for all the work that you're doing on yourself. And so great to see so many other diamonds on the call. And thanks everybody for showing up. So, and just love you all for all the hard work you're doing. And like Kimberly said, we just want everybody to win. So glad you showed up. So I'm going to pass the mic and we'll spend a few minutes on celebrations.
All right, I'll jump on. So I'm super excited about this interview. I've really been loving connecting with everyone and hearing their journey and mission, and just made a series of the Beauty Within interviews. So I've really enjoyed that, and I'm having a lot of people in my life that are enjoying it also. So thank you to everyone who has been so gracious with their time with me to do the interviews, and I really appreciate that. I am at 9 interviews right now, so shortly I'll be turning in my interviews to Miss Mary Beth, and so I feel like that's a pretty big one because it does take a little bit of time to do this, and we did have some technical difficulties, but Mary Beth is being gracious. So, and I have a lot of people that still want to do that, and I plan to just keep doing this. And I just may become a podcast. So I just am so thankful and grateful for these beautiful people in my life, and it's just yeah, it's really great, and it's bringing a lot of other beautiful people to me to ask questions about what it is that we do, and also just highlighting the beautiful people that you are and the beings that that I enjoy so much here in our community. Thank you so much. I love you all.
Amazing, Shannon. Yeah, it's really fun, and to discover something about yourself that you like to do, and maybe even be able to help lift others' voices in a different and new way. So great job getting out of your comfort zone, learning about yourself. Gooch, did you have something?
It's fun. Oh, I'm sorry. I was talking with Bob. Bob's on the call. Just to share that I'm really happy with the interviews too, and I think it's really great. Like, it was great to be with Bob. It's great that we are all being able to connect. I appreciate that, and I'm getting really good feedback on my business forward post on TikTok. So I think this following up with the interviews will be great.
Awesome, Laura. Yeah, you're really good with the follow-up, so appreciate that insight for sure. And for anybody who's new or don't know what we're talking about, Mary Beth is running a little challenge for us that if we get through 10 interviews, and it counts both ways for both people, that we will be entered to win a raffle at the end of the month for $100. So it's kind of cool. Anybody else check in? Let us know how you're doing. Shout somebody out on your team. Got a lot of leaders here, so pop in. Let's try to get through our celebrations, and then we can bring Kimberly on.
Although I would love to shout myself out for getting back on track, seeing that parasite come out. That was interesting. So definitely feel like I've been doing some work, both physically and energetically, to release some things that are not serving me. I think that those things are always connected to other things. I'd like to shout out Michelle for doing a lot of hard work, putting in the time and effort for our businesses and our time, or our line, and she's working on some really amazing things. Proud of her for that. And yeah, I'm excited to just be here. I'm healing from a broken leg, and I've been really concentrating on regenerating. So that's going super well. My doctor is interested in knowing what I'm doing. So that's just pretty cool to know, like, we all go through these things and what can come out of them. It's just like another testimonial story of optimal health and healing. So thanks so much.
Rebecca, Linz, Camille, anyone else? Michelle, Ash, anybody? Madeline, check-ins?
Yeah, I would like to share a little check-in win for me that happened yesterday, but it's kind of been over the course of a few weeks. The last time I went to, or actually a few months, my well woman exam a couple months ago, my gynecologist had found a lump in my breast, and she was like, oh, I'm not worried, but let's get this checked out. And it was just interesting for me to be like on that side of the healthcare journey, being more of like a patient. And I just developed so much compassion because of how much fear that comes up, how much anxiety, how much concern, when you're given diagnoses or when you don't really know how to navigate. And yet I just had, that arose and I could just witness it, but I didn't have any attachment to it because I felt so confident about the tools that I have and the resources I have in this community in particular, that regardless of what was to come out of this, that I would be able to navigate it. And yesterday I actually went to go get my mammogram and ultrasound because that's just how things take a long time here in Hawaii. And again, I'm walking into this healthcare facility and the technician is like, generally speaking, without judgment, just observation that most of these providers were overweight. They had these energy drinks and these like huge drinks from, McDonald's and Burger King and sodas and this kind of stuff. And I'm just like, wow, it just like really filled me up with just so much compassion. And that, in the way that we turn towards different providers seeking solutions for health and for our well-being, and just that the general population is going through this, And afterwards I got to have my interview with Heather, which was just such a contrast with Heather Sunderland. Anyway, just a huge win. Everything came back clear and they weren't concerned, which, was just kind of wild to have that, like I said, that whole experience of, I feel so blessed and so grateful to have been able to walk out of that office with good news. And I know there's a lot of people that don't. And yet you know, there's just so much, I don't know, just feeling really lit up and inspired by how helpful these resources are that we have and how many people are in need. And yeah, obviously just a really big win to have that relief too, and knowing, you know, that trust in my body and that things are okay.
I'd rather go to Walmart tonight.
Thanks so much, Madeline. Yeah, I really want to acknowledge you for your courage, because it also takes a lot to say no to mainstream, because we're really shuffled in that direction rather quickly, and the fear is instantly instilled. And so, you know, it's always wise if you can get testing and to like know what you're dealing with, but to also have that recognition and belief in yourself and your body's ability to heal is half of it, you know. So good job on educating yourself on if there was a lump or what it meant, and it, like, you know, if where it was, or looking for the picture of it, and then also understanding that you got this, and it takes a lot of courage.
Hey, y'all, I
Mika?
want to shout out real quick. I just wanted to shout out Ashley that I see is on this call, and she's going through some big stuff in her life. And we had talked maybe a month, maybe, I don't know, 3 weeks ago or a month ago. And she just was like, you know, like there's just too much, but I still see Ashley just like showing up. She's almost at 4K Club, which is amazing. And just, you know, I just see you. I just want to just say you're awesome. And I feel like that this community can really be a lifeline when we're going through hard things. It's just a nice space to come, you know, just to tune into your Purium community, because I just feel like everybody's so encouraging and so loving, and you know, so solution oriented. And yeah, so just wanted to shout you out for that, Ashley, for sure. And then I just had a fun thing happen today. There's a woman that I have been prospecting for a long time. She runs a birthing center. And we just could never really connect. She's just super busy. She's the head midwife there. And she reached out to me today and said, I want you to be part of our nutritional council for the pregnancy center. So that was really neat. So I was invited to this Zoom. I don't know what it's all going to be about. And maybe I can share superfoods with these women or scholarship opportunities, whatever. We'll see. Yeah. So that was just neat how, you know, when you plant a seed and you water it, you know, it might take a little while for it to grow, but hopefully I see some fruit from that. So yeah, thanks for being here, Kimberly. I'm really excited for the training that you're offering us today. So it's going to be great. Love you all.
Thanks, Camille. Love you too. And it is like, we are such a beautiful, happy family. And I just, it's like I came for the superfoods and for the health, and I stayed for the community, and it's benefiting me financially and has shifted my entire life. So we really do have the three pillars here in this particular lineage, and this community is outstanding. And I love how we all love each other. And and welcome, Ashley, and like, thanks for continuing to lean in and stay close to the fire. That's just what we do, and it all starts to unfold naturally. So good job staying dug in, and congratulations, Camille. I don't know if you saw Michelle Borsa race recently, was just went and did an event for like cancer patients in the hospital. So I feel like that's like very similar to how you can impact. And so congratulations. I really see your business thriving, and just your whole demeanor, and things are shifting. I know it seems a little crazy, and you're growing fast, and just hang in there, Mama. You're doing such important work. All of us are, all of you are. So congratulations. Anyone else before we jump into the training? I want to make sure everybody's voice is heard and lifted here.
I just want to, I saw Jenny jump on. I want to shout her out. I'm super excited. She has a live event this week. She is doing a retreat that she's hosting, and she's going to be incorporating some superfoods, having some out. So I think that's a first for her. So I want to just send her some love and excitement and all the things. Good job, Jenny.
Amazing, Jenny. I love doing events with the superfoods. It just like brings a whole other level. People are so thankful, and just the embodiment of the retreat that you're offering in general, it really enhances the whole thing. So I think you're really going to love it. And I'm sure Amy has some tips and tricks too of like materials and things like that to, help you have people to go home, have people go home with stuff in their hands or be in their bonnets. So congratulations. All right, well, without further ado, let's get into the training. So when I asked Kimberly, what do you want to do? You want to come, and what do you want to train on? And she without hesitation said daily rhythms of operations, time blocking, duplications, staying close to the fire, and staying close to the fire with promotions. And I think it's perfect to get her point of view on these important things. And we had a conversation today earlier, and she was talking about like, I want to talk about this because it's what I'm doing for myself, because I've done every other thing, like right, wrong, or indifferent. I've bought people their business. I bought people their kits. I've helped them build their business. I've done all the things, and like, it's not duplicatable and it's not sustainable. And she said, I feel like I'm starting all over again. And in a way, like, that's what we do here. We're constantly rebuilding, reshaping, regrowing, and learning as leaders what works and what doesn't. And it starts to become less about the like, I got to get a brand partner, I got to get a 30-day, da, 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 da. And it becomes more about, this is our life. This is our lifestyle. The more the superfoods are going in, and if we're really living the lifestyle and doing the superfoods ourselves at least a couple of times a day, whether we're detoxing or, doing the super cleanser or not, that this is just part of our rhythm, that whether we have a couple hours a week or a couple hours a day, that there is a sensible way. If this is your lifestyle, then it just becomes about normalizing it. Whether you have another job that you go to right now, and this is your exit strategy, and you just have a couple of hours, or whether this is your everyday, that becoming like this, it's not just like Purium, we're part of Purium, like this is our business, like our own store, our own livelihood. We get to treat it as such, and we are completely backed by this company. We can open our mouths and talk about things responsibly, and it's true, and there's transparency. So even if people want to be connected with information other than that's coming from us, we can help them get that. And I'll encourage people all day, every day, take a look at this against what you're doing and see if you can see as far into your own company, or let me know if there's any ingredients that you don't recognize, or wouldn't it be nice to have it all in one place so you're not shopping, or how about being out of place? I mean, there's just, it doesn't even have to be about convincing. It's just encouraging people to compare for themselves and take a look at what is going on. So, Kimberly, do you want to just come on up and tell us about what's up with you right now? And let's just roll.
Hi, friends. Thank you, Michelle. And thank you all for letting me come and be a part of this amazing opportunity just to witness what you all are up to. It's such a blessing to get to peek in to so many different tribes, and we are all Team Purium. It's a given to be able to know that anything that I could share is always going to trickle up to Amy and Dave and customer service and all of it. Like, it is just, we're all on the same playing field, no matter what rank, no matter what, like, as long as you're eating this food and you have intention, that we know what we're doing here. And so I'm really honored. So thank you so much for letting me come here. And I'm thankful. I'm going to give Kia, my sweet brand partner. She was one that showed up for me here today. So I'm thankful to have her with us too. So hi. So I think I want to share with you a little quote from, or like Average to Fortune from Jim Rohn. And if you all haven't tuned into Jim Rohn's teachings, definitely start to find them on YouTube. I'll be sending them to Michelle. So from Average to Fortune, the number one is get serious. Set goals 5 to 10 years. And I don't know if drop me a 1 if you were like me or still feel like me, that writing down your goal, like you just don't even want to do that for some reason. And no shame, no blame, like just write a 1. If like writing a goal makes it like, if I don't hit that goal, then I failed. And so I shouldn't even write a goal, you know? So that's something to clear, right? So it'd be limiting beliefs, really feeling into that we are worthy and deserving and that we're not in trouble if we don't hit that goal. It's totally a space of writing to the universe what we know we can offer. And the more we can set those goals, it really just means how much are we helping other people. So we're here to be these examples, living examples, so that we can guide other people into this lifestyle. So it's so dear. So get excited about your goals. How much do you want to earn? And also this would mean we're tapping into personal development every single day. Who do you want to be? And you're going to arrive somewhere. Where do you want to arrive? Number 2 is get smart. So read, learn, have this space of knowing that there's so much information every single day. Do your subconscious training. As soon as I wake up in the morning, somehow, because I've been eating this food now for 5 years, every single day, all day long, with very little outside food coming into my system, I am awake at 5 a.m. now. I go to bed around 12. My client last night was like, do you sleep ever? And I'm like, I sleep so well when I do sleep. I that's all I need, you know? So do the subconscious mind training, like as soon as you wake up, maybe, or maybe right before you go to bed, and really let yourself have that. And I'll talk about writing in your calendar, and I really want to have that be something that everybody walks away with today, that we have the calendar totally dialed. And next week with you guys coming in, I'd love to just have everybody shout out how they've done their calendar. I don't have to be here, but I really hope that that is something that you put in a way that I just finally did now. It's taken me 5 years, over 5 years, to finally let my calendar be my boss. And 2 years ago, I did the whole GoPro training with Eric Warre. He talked about this. I kind of did it. I put my self-care practices in there. I put a few calls. I did it. Now I have, like, it is from, I start it at 4 o'clock. I have Thankful Thursday. And then 5 a.m. you get up and have the best day ever, subconscious mind training. And every single hour is filled with something. And you would think it kind of feels overwhelming, but it's actually the most spacious feeling I've ever had. And it's so awesome. And the biggest thing is I hear some people say, well, I don't want to do that because if I don't accomplish the thing that I have on there, then I'm going to judge myself. But it's not about that. It's just about like a ladder. It's just like the rungs in a step. You want to get to the top of the roof. It's just going up the ladder. And if you need to skip a couple of steps, it doesn't matter. You just bring fun. I've made the colors and the whole thing, and it's self-care, going for walks, even making my bed. It's like, and then my brain says, oh, there's a written thing. That's what you're here to do. And it feels so good. And so I hope to invite all of you to this practice of setting your days up, and you put all of the things. And then we wanted to talk about the, I sent a picture of a daily rhythm plan of operations, and Michelle has that and Amy has that. So we'll give that to everyone. And so when you do have your time block, you're able to put the things in here that are on that daily rhythm of operations sheet. So if you do have a time block, you know, you're like, well, I'm supposed to do Purium. It's like, well, what are you supposed to be doing at that time? You know, do you need to make a live? You could go make a shake, do your live, like put these things in your life so you're in a rhythm of like dancing through your day, connect with 10 people, set up referral posts. I mean, just put the things in of that daily method of operation in the time blocks, and whatever feels the most resonant in that time block that you have, do that one thing. It doesn't mean you have to do like 20,000 things in that time, but it's like you can just decide. But I have a feeling if everybody gets really intentional and starts putting the information of what you are here to do as a network marketer, you're going to succeed and it's going to feel light in your body. Yay, thanks for coming, Bethany. This is definitely for Bethany too. So Bethany Bosworth is my colon hydrotherapist on our team, and she's divine, and we are getting her systems in place too. So the first one is get serious, get smart, get going. So this is taking action, do the work, build with the material that we've been learning. Don't just like come to all the calls, do all this stuff and have it building up, because that's when, and then you don't build the house. It's like we've got all the materials, got all this stuff, but then we actually don't do anything with it. So I really feel that if you put it in your calendar, have your calendar be your boss. And then whenever you have time to do your business, you're going to put the couple of things that you're going to work on at that time. And if you get them done, great. And if you don't, then you shift it over to the next day and have the things that are the most important at the top. Obviously, your smart orders are all the things. So, and again, the promotions, if you're in your fast start, you'll want to have your lives together. And what we've been doing is when we have a new brand partner in our team, I make a funnel in Messenger and I'm like, let's everybody go live with Kia. And I have Kia and I'm like, this person wants to go live with you. And then I make a little flyer for her and we have them go live in the very beginning so that everyone starts to get to know each other on the team too. And you can set up a time so that everyone gets to introduce themselves to the new brand partner. And it's been so perfect because if you just have a brand new partner coming in and you're like, yeah, I know we're supposed to go live, but like, if you make that funnel for them, you pour everybody into the team and then every single person is going in and they're like, me, I'm next, Shannon's next, Ashley's next, Camille, I need to meet Camille and have her tell her story. Then that new brand new person doesn't have to actually say a word for quite a while. And she's getting to know every single person on the team. And it's such a lovely practice. And you all get to just fall madly in love with each other and learn each other's stories. So get excited. Get excited is number 4. I'm so excited every single day. Like, I'm not just being like this because I know you're told to like be excited when you're on a Zoom. It's like, this is the most incredible experience of this lifetime. We're literally saving people's lives and we're ending human suffering in a way that we don't even understand yet. Once people have a breath financially, they can even start understanding why they're alive. If we're not on this rat race of like barely making any money, having any stuff, it's like what if you actually learn that the hub of what our work is your self-care practice, and then you spiral out all the other things. But again, putting everything in your phone and having that duplicatable system so that you can have it. And thank you to Kia, because I wasn't doing this even just a few weeks ago. I was just working from minute till I went to bed, and I still kind of am in a certain way, but at least I have these time frames of like, it is the next step from him is get away. I do this, I'm really good at it, but I could do it in a different way during the daytime. So get away. That means be alone. It means learn how to live. we're teaching people how to live. And if all we're doing is working 24/7, I'm not doing a very good job and not being a very good example to my team that all I'm doing is being available every single second of the day. I even had one of my ladies say, that was one of my biggest things is like, I can't do what you do. And it's like, no, you're going to do what you do. And I'm going to do my best to do what I do. I mean, we teach people how to treat us. It's so true, Amy. So, get away, create balance in your life. And if you haven't, again, I know now on these times where I've put get away, that means either take time for myself, go for a walk, body work done, go to the hot springs, and then all these downloads come. And that's when my new systems come in for the whole team and I can share it. It's really amazing. And then keep looking for the few things that make a difference and spend the most time on the few things that make a difference. So really focus in on the things that are really important to, first and foremost, your self-care. You are number one in this practice. Luckily, the superfoods, you hear that lightning in thunder? Luckily, the superfoods are our main core of that self-care practice. So we're so fortunate to have the superfoods as that. But let's believe that we're worthy and deserving to be more than just superfoods is the only time, and sleeping to care for ourselves. And being with nature and listening to the amazing, trainings and all of it, and really putting that in your calendar. I don't know one other network marketing company that we get to have who Debbie Darling is in this company, that she takes her time after sitting at the computer all day for us to be there. It is so great to show up on all of the company calls, because Dave comes on every single Wednesday. And before the Zoom calls, he was coming on with dinner with Dave, doing audios every single Wednesday. It's like the least I can do to show up for this company and what they do for us. And then there's Amy's call, and it is so good. And if you all didn't hear the call the other night with Pilani and them, I had my girl in tears. She was crying. It was amazing. And I think she's going to be our new brand partner soon enough, coming down the road. But that calendar is so important. And then I've also created a system now that I've taken Melissa Hansen's verbiage and really put the system in place. And that is something brand new that I want to do, because otherwise I'm on the phone with people sometimes for 2 hours, holding space for way too much. And every once in a while, the person doesn't even sign up after 2 hours. And so that's on me. That is not okay. That's my old school 28 years of doing hair. I am no longer a hair therapist. That's what I did every day, all day long, held that space for people to talk and talk and talk. And that's what hairdressers do. But I'm not a hairdresser anymore. And if any of you are in the, healing modalities, it's like, what kind of codependency am I stepping out of to make sure that I don't do that thing, so that, Melissa Hansen's going in for 15-minute connections. And that's why I'm so excited that I'm like, wow, I'm going to put this system in place. And I'm even going to send out the questions for my client to write in, which she normally writes in herself. I want the client to write those questions, send them to me either in an email. I'm also setting up a Calendly. So again, here's another system or a container, because the more containers that we have to hold people, every single person is a little sprout. It's a little tiny seed. Our builders are little seeds and our customers are little seeds. And if we put them in the container and plant them and then keep giving the information and we guide them, we just stepped into full sovereignty of our own time more of a streamlined system, and you have all the things and you can just go through the answers and you're like, perfect. ULT plus immune is going to be amazing for you. Ionic elements, all these things. And the magic word, how much can you invest in your health today? You know, and that's where I'm having people, luckily my clients are the ones that help me set the standard of someone saying, I can put $700 in today. And it's like, okay, great. A $700 order is a ULT plus immune, juice bar in a bag, fiber, ionic elements, ginseng, and chlorella. That's not too much. That's not too much at all. If you help them see that that is their food for the month, like, is your health and wellness worth $24 a day to basically cover all of it? And if that's too much, then you can start going back down. And you can say, well, next month, after you start feeling amazing and all those things that people are spending their money on, those are going to start falling away. And so, you know, it's all about the systems and following these systems. And it doesn't mean that you have to be a robot, you know, but at the same time, the more duplicatable step-by-step ABC systems, it's going to make it so that people that are brand new that are coming in, they don't have to be some really degenerative detox specialist, or they don't have to be me or anything. They follow the script and they follow the steps. Super easy. If you're interested in this video, like I'd like to send, if the wording is, if I sent you a link, would you watch it? That's this Eric Worre. If I sent you a link, would you watch it? Great. When could you watch it? You put it back in their hands again. You're not being pressure, anything. What time is good for you? Great. You can watch it by Monday. I'll come back on Monday and we'll circle back. But what also, instead of just sending the link, I'm going to send the questions too. That's what I'm doing with new people. And like, then you have the information there. They watch the video and you say, what did you like best about this information? And then the next step is signing them up with their kit. And if they don't have the money, I have a girl right now, she just finally messaged me. She has saved $360. And at first she wanted to she did buy a little bit on the sale. And then she's like, well, I just want to buy a little more. I'm like, just save your money. Save your money, and they've come back, and maybe you'll lose a sale every once in a while, and you intuitively just need to decide that. I'm not here to tell you don't sign your person up if they have a little money and you want to get them rolling. Like, all of this is just ideas. I have failed forward for 5 years. If I told you all of my failures, you would just be like, oh my God. Oh my God. But I don't really love to do that 100% because it's, you know, it involves other people than just myself. But the bottom line is that I didn't have certain systems in place. And when you have them in place, you're going to be more professional. And everyone here, I know a lot of people on this team have a lot of, you know, credentials now. You've all had like some really deep training and all of it. And the people that don't have all the training quite yet, there's these systems, a step-by-step ladder in order for you to find your favorite, like learn about the person enough where you, and then I bring people in, especially in the new brand partners. This is what I'm asking with my brand partners is you ask them to put the new person and you in a messenger thread. Hi, Rita. And then I say, I'm so excited to be space with you on this journey, and let's put some education here so that you can create an educated choice. And they get to learn me as this person's upline, and we just share all the good news, and you learn a little bit about them, and then you hear what's going on with their body, and you find your favorite video and be like, wow, I thought I totally know the video that I'm going to be sending you. So then you can have that. So again, systems and structure to be able to help yourself first and foremost with your calendar, just set up every hour. And then put all of the times that you're going to have your superfoods in you. we set our clients up every couple hours, they're putting aminos or shakes in them. Put your calendar in so that you can have a system of self-care, self-love, still time blocking the time that you have for Purium, and then watch the freedom come into your life. It's just this beautiful thing. So that was a lot, but I'd love to pause now and just hear if there's any questions or anything that anybody wants to share.
Oh my gosh, Kimberly, thank you so much for the download. Lots of nuggets. And yeah, we'll just go right into questions. Camille.
Thanks, Kimberly. I took some great notes I'm going to share with my team. That was really awesome. My question is, when you're in conversation with somebody, it sounds like you're like in their DM. If I sent you a link, would you watch it? When would you watch it? Great, I'll circle back with you. And then you said you send them a series of questions. I did write down one of the questions that says, what did you like? Were there other key questions that you asked them, or do you then just hop on the phone, or what's the next step?
So I would say, but like you've really created more back and forth conversations, right? Like you'd really, like by that time, they're almost asking you for the video, right? Like you've built a pretty strong rapport by that time. So, and the other questions, Michelle and Amy have them, so I'll have her do that. But by the time you've gotten to a place of the video type of thing, then, you know, you're going to, they're going to say when they could watch it. And then if they haven't, I love the statement of if they've just kind of like ghosted you a little bit, always the statement of where would you like to go from here? And that just keeps the door open on so many levels, because it's not like, and the question too is, what was your favorite part about the video? Not even what did you like? What was your very favorite part that you heard on this replay? And really plug the replay as the most special thing that you're sending them. These are my dear friends on here, and I'm sending you this video because I know that it's going to really resonate with what you're working with. So I wanted to have you see some really precious testimonials of some friends that have had amazing outcome. And I feel that this would really resonate with you. Can I send you that link? So there's all these network marketing statements out there of like really stuff that I didn't use for so long, of like, if I sent you a link, would you watch it? It's like, no, you know, like I don't want to do it that way, right? So it's like, I would really love to share some amazing testimonials with you. And I feel it would really align with what is going on for your body. This person, like, let me feel into what would be the best video for you. Please tell me a little bit about yourself. And then they tell you, and you're like, great, let me go search for a video that would be the best for you. So that's kind of how those types of conversations go for me. And then by the time you're sending that video, the person's like, oh my gosh, thank you so much for sending that. And 9 times out of 10, they're going to watch it. And it's pretty exciting that way. So really finesse it and really make it so that it's a very important thing. When could you offer yourself about 30 minutes to be able to gift yourself this type of education? And that's what I love to say too, is I'm here to educate you. I'm not here to just sell you something. I'd like to offer education for you, so we have time to be able to really bring, like, when would you have about 30 minutes to gift yourself this really beautiful story from some of my dear friends with major wellness stories going on? I feel like it would really inspire you. So those are the type of conversations and wording and the way that you really invite people. By the time you do that, they're going to be like, okay, yes. Because people are spending time watching things and looking at stuff, and they're on Facebook. It's like, I'm here to educate you with something that is on like the biggest topic of my heart. And I can notice that you and I have a lot of things in common. And that's like someone who I don't know on Facebook is going to be like, hi, I'm Kimberly Sanders. You know, I really can feel a resonance to what you are doing out there in the world. And I'm curious if I shared something that is really deep to my heart, can I share like something, or help me know more about yourself as well? And what are some of your passions? But I see that you and I have a similar vision. And would it be okay if I sent you some information? And maybe that's like down the messenger thread a little bit longer. It's not like you want to blast that right away, but just this authentic sharing of who you are, what you're here for, and then bring Purium in of like, I'm working with regenerative farming practices, removing these poisons, having a community that is mind-blowing of people that you've been probably looking for your whole life. We have a whole community that wants to be in your world cheering you on. And I have that, you know, so there's just so much goodness that we have to share. I hope that helps. Yeah.
I love that, Kimberly. And again, you guys, it's normalizing it when you're talking to people and you care about people and you're interested in what people are up to. And if you're praying every morning on, like, allow the people who are praying for the solutions I have to come into my line of sight today, and may I be cognizant of those conversations, then when you're interacting with people, like my inner dialogue is, you know, oh, maybe this is somebody who is praying for a solution that I have. So I'm not presenting to them. I'm going to ask questions to find out like what is resonating with them. Why are they in this conversation with me? And then it's like, wow, you know, that totally reminds me of this video, or like a friend of mine, or somebody in the company that I work with, or like, have you ever heard of regenerative farming? Or just, you know, getting, moving through these questions to the part where you're like, I'd be happy to send over some information if that feels resonant with you. Or if, you know, if you'd like, even, you know, where we're asking, we're getting to that point. So normalizing, I love that, Kimberly, and just being, you know, we say this, a product of the product, but it's less about praying for like, let me get some brand partners, let me get some customers today, and more about let the people who are praying for the solutions I have come through, cross my path today. And then just being interested in, oh, here's a fun one. I wonder why they came across my path. You know, we're inspiring people into this, and we're attracting because we are so committed to it for ourselves. And the more that we commit to ourselves, the more that we're attracting people who want what we have. And we can just find out where we're going to be meeting them along the path. Beautiful, Kimberly. Anybody else have any questions? Or Rita, are you babysitting? Is that why you're back? It's good to see you back here. You want to impart some wisdom or chime in or say hello? Celebrate anyone?
Yay. Well, I'm so excited for the little bit that I did get to catch. And I love the emphasis on, you know, just leading with your heart, what's lighting you up the most, and then building deep relationships and connections. And I think, you know, I always say this, but the quality of your life is based on the quality of questions you ask, and including the quality and depth of our relationships. So being more interested in others than interesting. And that's just, you know, it's so fun, right? To build deep, authentic, meaningful connections and relationships. And who knows where they'll go, but, you know, with that possibility and that intention of, how can I transform somebody's life today? You know, and I just know how transformative this has been for me. So I'm with, like, I can't even imagine my life right now without this. So, you know, just sharing that gift and sharing that connection. So I'm just loving everything that you're all saying. And it looks like Laura does have a question, but yeah, I just want to shout out everyone for sharing their hearts, you know, and being vulnerable. Cause I know that's been hard for me to show up and be vulnerable, right? But again, that's so important because it gives permission for others to really share their heart and be vulnerable, and allows us to be of service. So thank you, ladies.
Thanks, Ray. Laura, good.
Hi, Kimberly. I've admired how hard you work for a long time. So thank you so much for taking the time to come and share that with us. And I totally relate to the calendar. And I know I would be more productive by doing it. Game changer, right? But like today I had to go for a bike ride because it was so beautiful.
You get to, and I have so much scheduled into the practice. Like, you are the first, your bike ride is the number one thing. It's like cleaning the house, right? Start in your favorite place. Set up your calendar with your favorite things first, and then fill in the other things, and then fill in the other things.
Okay.
But, and Bob asked, what is my calendar app? This is just on the iPhone. And you can Google it to know how to change the colors. And I put those colors in a long time ago, but I finally am using it for what it's worth. So you get to go on a bike ride, and you can totally bypass what you've written down, but at least it's there. And the container is there if you want to allow yourself to do it. And you just keep going back and touching in and being like, right about now is where I would be doing Purium stuff. And here we are. So you just have to decide like what it is. And please notice if you're being really hard on yourself, because it's not about that. This is about ease and grace and allowing yourself more spaciousness so that you don't have to feel overwhelmed that you didn't complete everything. You don't have to complete everything. It's just the rungs on the ladder. You're going to get to the top no matter what. Or maybe you're going to stand halfway on the ladder and look around. It doesn't matter. But at least put the structure in your phone so that every day you know. And it might be really fun. And you could switch things around and whatever. Just notice if you're being rigid, because that doesn't work.
Okay.
Yeah. But you get to
Great
go on.
question, Laura.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're in the business of self-care and teaching people how to care for themselves differently than they've been taught before. And so we get to be an example of that. And so what better way than to show people? So we got just a couple more minutes. So Rebecca, let's go ahead. I see people are arriving for our next call, but yeah, Rebecca.
Yeah, I see that this again, so it's okay. We can skip it. I don't want to run over.
Please, we have time for your question and we'd love to hear what it is.
Kimberly, you've done such an amazing job with your K-Club sales. And so my curiosity for you is, what is the languaging you specifically use around Smart Order? I know for myself, I was really scared to use Smart Order for anything for at least 18 months. I thought, people are spending so much money with me already. How can I ask them for a subscription of any sort? And I know it's a service to them, but for people who are newer, people who aren't having that high rate of conversion to Smart Orders with every order, what is specifically the formula? How do you speak it out to people?
Thank you so much, Rebecca. Well, I mean, the first thing, and when I hear, when I'm listening to things, I just heard, and like, it was your knowing, thinking that they spent a lot of money already. So that's inside of us, right? And so I know that if I'm thinking that they're spending a lot of money, then I'm going to lower it and make it feel like, oh, I don't want to bother them. But really what the Smart Order is all about is that they get to have the rewards points and be like, this is just something really beautiful to be able to keep you consistent. If you need to cancel it, we can, but this gives you double rewards points. But more than anything, it's when we shift in our knowing, in our being, that they are worthy and deserving, and that the money that they just spent, let's say it's not a lot of money. Like it's 20 something dollars a day. It's $15 a day for their health and wellness, right? And to really get clear, ask them more about what they've been spending their money on and stuff too. So, but Smart Order, it's for their benefit. And when we have the Smart Order in our lives with like being handled, then the Smart Order won't feel overwhelming to them either. So I don't know how you keep track of the Smart Order, like if you feel really confident in like how you keep track of Smart Orders and stuff for your clients, and just be like, you know, take it off the table that it's any type of stress on them. I think that's the biggest thing. It's like, I'm responsible for the person's Smart Order. And until just the last couple of months with the 90-day thing, I had everything so tuned in. And then all of a sudden it just got a little out of control. And so, you know, just keep it in your calendar. And I'm speaking to myself. It's like, keep these systems dialed so that you call them 5 days prior and you say, how are you doing? The Smart Order is really, I'd love to change our mindset with this. The Smart Order is so that you get to check in with them and see how they're truly doing. And in that process, the Smart Order is kind of off the table. It doesn't even really matter. This, like, their Smart Order is never going to process without them having a conversation with you. And the only thing that the Smart Order is doing is keeping their wholesale pricing, which is what you could talk about it as. Smart Orders keep your wholesale pricing and allow you to have double Purium rewards dollars. And that's the only thing that the Smart Order is. And if for some reason by the next month, you don't want to keep your Smart Order, first of all, I haven't done due diligence to know that this is a lifestyle that we're walking you into and that we're going way beyond a month. We're going into eternity together. So the Smart Order is the most magical thing that we have, because you're doing this food with me forever, because where else are you going to go shopping? Like, unless you have a garden, you know, it's like, this is the cleanest food on the planet. And so the Smart Order just ensures wholesale pricing, double Purium rewards dollars, and then you're holding their hand through that month, and then they're safe in your care by the time the Smart Order rolls around. So when you deliver the Smart Order to people, just be like, you know, I know that you probably have fear around the Smart Order because there's all these other companies on the planet that have stuff shipping to your doorstep and you don't even know that it's going to come. That's where I come in, and we get to hold hands together through this whole system. And you'll never be getting an order on your doorstep, because I want to tune in with you before that happens, because I want to check in to see how everything's going. And if you wish for the same thing, or even get to add a juice bar in a bag next month. So,
Awesome.
yeah. Anyway, thank you.
Thanks, Kimberly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think also when you're setting up somebody's account, you can just say, we're going to get you all set up so that you can maximize your benefits, and you'll have at least a $10 coupon for next time. And then I usually just explain the rewards points. You can use it to get free shipping on your next order, or you can bank it. And after you get, you know, it's 1,000 points is $10, but at 3,000 it's 40. And that's what I do. I like to bank them and get myself a free product. So they're usually like, okay. And I say, don't worry, we're going to chat beforehand anyways to make sure that whatever's on that order, you'll get what you need. And that order doesn't hardly even ever have to ship, because if you order what you need ahead of time, it'll just push out. So I'm going to put you on the furthest possible date. And it's kind of a hack that we do. And that's why I say to people, and then it feels more like they're like in on something than there's a resistance. So I hope that helps too. So you can keep it, you know, you don't have to over explain it or under explain it. Just be in the posture of like, hey, by the way, we have kind of a hack where you can get double your points on your next order, in that already always posture. So Kimberly, I want to thank you so much. I love your presence, and I just appreciate your leadership and everything you do for the entire community, the entire field, all of us, Dave and Amy. You just exemplify living, breathing, eating, and sleeping what we're doing here, which is self-love, self-care, and self-worth. And so thank you for helping lift all of us with your presence. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, guys. Have fun.
Love you so much.
Bye.
Thank you, Kimberly. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you, Amy.